Hello and welcome to another edition of the Eternal Journey. I'm the Resolves and this is Lights Out Ace Scrappy Hour. I've been trying to play this deck in a video for quite some time, but I've just never seemingly been able to fire the trigger. But I think this deck has actually got quite a lot going for it right now, as it does have the mid-range Slayer of Madness and any other spell that interacts with it, so be it the Devour or the Combust, as well as just having the Witching Hour, which is super impressive as a spell. And when you've got a bunch of spells in your deck like the Assembly Line or just units like Scraptank, it's very easy just to get this down to a castable amount before it's like a just win more effect. And of course the Gearcruncher often makes it free as well, but at that point you generally just keep the grenadins in play, just keep blowing up the world and getting in there for a bunch. This does have a impact on the power base a lot, is because we do need 6 Shadow Influence, and ideally we want that by like turn 6 or 7 where we're able to cast it for a reasonably cheap amount. So you'll see here we've only got 1 Fire Sigil and just the Granite Waystones, just because it's too good to pass up the ability just to get a free Grenadin, which does have a bunch of synergy with our deck. Okay, so enough about the deck, let's get into some games and see how we get on the ladder. Okay, well, I'd love to keep this hand just because it's a bunch of quarries, a couple of torches, but I think realistically you have to redraw like it is just 1 power. And this is a little bit more exciting here because we do get to play a Grenadin drone with 2 Combust if you're against some sort of mid-rangey opponent. Well, that's even better because now we're only Fire Influence, 1 Fire Influence, where I'm having a Granite Waystone up, and also playing some sort of hero deck. So playing like little random idiots like the Grenadin drone should be okay. Now this is where I like to be. Just torch my Grenadin drone, yes please. This could be like a primal carry deck, which could be reasonably rough for us, because they could potentially just pick apart our synergies with cards like Hailstorm and Harsh Rule. But hopefully we're going to be able to draw power, so we're able to just play and activate the Stonescar Scrappy on the same turn. This is most like a Mystic Ascendant effect where you're going to play it for a 1 more than it actually costs. Now, well, we'll get to Granite Waystone here. And unfortunately, we've just got like a bunch of dead cards in hand with the Combusts here. But hopefully we're just able to flip the board and just use them to kill something like an Icaria or any sort of nonsense like that. I think we'll just keep this Grenadin in play for now. And hope to just fade a Harsh Rule for a turn, because that's going to be doing a pretty good job of just tidying us up. I think 5 turns is probably enough for now. I don't think I'll want to quite extend this second assembly line quite yet. I think I just want to hold up the Devour. I'll probably gobble something up at the end of turn, just to try and keep hitting our powers. Well, I think we'll give him 1 more turn of just the 4 power in play, and then we'll try and go at it with another copy of the Assembly Line. But although we got really good against weapons just with this real go-wide strategy, I don't like knowing that we're facing down just 8 sweepers in our opponent's deck that can just sort of end the game super quickly against us. So maybe I should be a little bit more aggressive and just be playing out these threats, but as we can't actually reload with any of it because we've got a bunch of 5 drops and, well, 6 drops, much rather just play out what we can for now. Just wondering what our opponent's thinking of it. So, okay, we're in the Torch Grenadins mode, which means our opponent's probably just not got a sweeper here. Okay, well, probably wants to sweep this up. This is fine because we're just going to get to reload for the next couple of turns. Oh, Sword of the Sky King, spicy. So we do get to kill that, and then I'm just going to refill for Scraptank. And I'm pretty sure if we draw a Witching Hour at some point, though, we should be able to get it in underneath an Island's Choice. And hopefully this isn't the harsh rule. Well, there it is. But the game's not quite over yet. We got rid of one of our opponent's better threats there. And now we get to hold up the assembly line with the Devour just to be able to keep churning through our deck and just drawing a bunch of cards. Okay, well, we're just going to devour whatever they're trying to eat here. Well, more Combust isn't quite what we're looking for, although we do have 6 points of burn here. I think I'll just try and get our opponent dead next turn, because we've got 6 points here rather than just holding up the Devour. And I really do hate playing out Stonescar Scrappers just when we're not able to get full value off them. But I think in this position I don't want to sacrifice these anyway quite yet. No, Vanquish is fine, because if they're not able to answer both of these, then we do have lethal in play. Well, there's the Icaria, rats. But we do get to get the job done, actually. Combust this to couple up the Aegis. And then we get to Madness. And just one of the torches should do here. I love it when Torch is good in a control matchup. We're just able to use it to end the game. Okay, well, here we're on the play. Well, on the draw, actually. I'm not sure we can actually keep this. Sort of reasonably excited because we do have the Madness Devour if we are against some sort of mid-range nonsense. So I think we'll actually keep it just because we do get to have pretty nice influence because we get to crest it up and then just make a Stonescar banner. I imagine Ilian's streaming here, so just checking that I'm not in the chat. Well, it could very well be a mirror here. Nice. Well, let's scout it up and Witching Hour with a bunch of assembly lines and Scraptanks. I'm in. Yeah. Let's make some good video. We'll find power at some point anyway because we have the Devour going on. And if we're against like some sort of mirror, maybe the Devour's, well, the Madness and Devour are not going to be very good aggressively. No, opponent's got the Spark Catcher, so they're perhaps a more aggressive version of the Grenadin here. Spark Catcher is pretty good with the Witching Hour too because it's still 2 spells. And then as long as we just draw a couple more power, you're just going to see how quickly this Witching Hour is going to turn into a real cost. And I'll probably do just like block there. Well, we're just going to Devour just to make sure we hit power. I do feel like our opponent has got a fast spell here. But now we get to play out the Scraptank next turn. I feel, well, got to play a bunch of Scraptanks in a row. I was a little bit concerned if our opponent just like Madness in our Scraptank after we make a bunch of trades and turn it into a huge body. But hopefully we just leave enough things back that it's not an issue. And we do get to peck for 1 here. Still leaves 3 bodies back if our opponent does steal this. And I think really we want to keep the Combust yet for this guy. Yeah, we need to combust this, just get rid of it. Because the Scraptank is just how our opponent is, just going to absolutely destroy us in the game. But it could also be a little bit spicy. And let's use the Madness here. Yeah, we don't need to do that yet. Attack for everyone, get a little bit more damage in. Because if we just did make this into a 7/7 here, then I'm pretty sure that Liam would have just... Well, let's take up these Grenadins. I know we could basically have it all. The Combust here is not super exciting. But we were going to trade one of our Grenadins for this, and this way we still get a similar effect. Yeah, let's just cascade out all of our spells. Just grab another Shadow Sigil. And just keep making this Witching Hour cheaper. Cam does get to just Madness and perhaps Devour here just to kill our Scraptank. Well, just got the Combustion Cell, just using it to power something out. I think this is an opportunity where I'm just going to make the Crest here. Stonescar Scrapper is probably quite nice. I mean, it feels like it's one of the more powerful cards in the matchup. And it's going to help us just keep even on cards because our opponent has done quite well here. I do enjoy these sort of games because they just feel really swingy and like it could be literally anyone's. I know I do need to be a little bit concerned because I probably could have got something nice and sweet but one cheaper, like a surprise torch or something like that.
These parts could be worth something.
Well, perhaps that was a misplay there, just playing out the power. But I am just going to chuck in for 7 here. I'm assuming we're going to be the first one to get to play a Witching Hour here. Although if... Yep, so Madness here is pretty gross. And I'm probably just going to get to sacrifice this to their Scrapper. So hopefully they attack with everything and we'll just get to block. Actually, if they attack here, I'm just going to torch this. So they have to... This is getting a little bit too fancy. So... But I'm just making sure that opponent doesn't get to draw cards. They're going to have to pay power just to get stuff actually going on. Now, they combust anyway, so just infinite ways of getting in there. But Cam's played this match really well. The Vara's favour there just for the sickest rub-ins, but I'm guessing that they are not playing the Witching Hour version. But I think next turn's the turn where we're going to pull the trigger on this. I think for now we're just going to steal the Scrapper. Attack for 4. And just gobble these up, give us a 7/7. And draw some cards, gain a little bit of life. And there we go. Got the Granite Waystone and the Combust for next turn. Oh, Gearcruncher. Okay, so there's a new target in town for destroying, but luckily for us, we've got the Witching Hour just to kill this off. I've got our own Gearcruncher, so the swings in this are absolutely absurd. and we'll not actually get full value off the witching hour here, which is sort of ridiculous. So we could have just played the Gearcruncher first, but then I'm pretty sure we wouldn't have got the killer one, which is the one that we actually really need here, because the killer is the last, well, second to last in the order that the tokens are created. So just make it like this. We've got some pressure in the air and a couple of decent bodies there. And we've got rid of the first really scary threat in the Gearcruncher. Now hopefully we're going to be able to play our own Gearcruncher after our opponent makes some sort of trade here, and I'm just able to kill the Stonescar Scrapper, as well as stabilising our board. And also, whenever we draw a witch now for the rest of the game, it's just going to cost 0. But it does get to like chump block here. Well, not chump block, but just actually meaningfully block with the Stonescar Scrapper, which isn't the best for us. Okay, we're just straight up devouring that to stop us from gaining life. But we do get to kill this anyway, even though we did end up trading it. There's certainly been some swings here, but I feel like we're ahead here, not because we've got the Gearcruncher in play, but we've also got the Pale Rider in play here. But let's go, might just be able to Gearcruncher here just to kill our flying unit. And just having the combustion cell in play is super gross here, just because they can just kill whatever they steal with madness, but we should have chucked through most of them here, so we've gone through 3 madnesses. Yeah, if we'd have been able to have an additional power up so we could have protected ourselves with the Devour, that would have been pretty great for us. But let's just churn through our opponent's threats here. And I think now's just the ace-based portion of the game. And I feel like we are precious enough about these Wild Riders, well, the Pale Riders, that we will actually play Torch if they did get like quad blocked. And what we've got going on here? I suppose we'll just Devour this to see what we can draw. Now that's pretty nice because we've still got a Devour now in case there's any other sort of madness shenanigans. Now, I suppose we're just going for the Seat of Chaos there. I'm glad that we managed to cycle through 2 powers there, because it means that our next draw is probably going to be a little bit more meaningful. I'm curious what this means. Okay, so this is another Gearcruncher. Well, I'm just going to Devour. Or am I? Yeah, I will Devour. This does make any like madness draws a little bit worse because we don't have like the tools to deal with. But we've also got a refill, which is nice. So I'm going to attack with everything, and then I'm just going to refill the board. I'm going to get the most absurd value there because we still had quite the board. But let's deal this Gearcruncher. And we've gone through 2 Gearcrunchers so far. Wow, so Caleb Uncrowned Prince. This is certainly a spicy version. But yeah, just so much planning from our opponent here. Just we can tell this was gained from the Quarry, like quite a few turns ago, that this is why they didn't block last turn as well. So just need to look at what sort of weapons we've got here. So the Combust on our Gearcruncher. And Caleb's just got a Jack's Knife. I think if Camus hacks with everything, we might have lethal here. Yeah, if they attack with too much, we should be able to get back. But I think this is just what they've settled on for now. So I suppose we will just torch the 4-3, block the 2-1, and I suppose we can just take 10 here. Well, 11 with this. Not super excited about putting 4 things underneath a 6-4, but I suppose we can also just do that. I suppose now we're back in shape where we really want to find like a witch now, or just some way of just digging deep for our deck. And there's a quarry, so there's a first look. And is it Vara's Favour or Granite Waystone? And I suppose we'll just take the Vara's Favour. So 1 cost way of dealing with this. And I suppose we're just going to be sitting back for now and playing quite defensively. Wow, okay, so the 35-5 Oblivion Spike. Well, that's killed our way of blocking the Caleb nice and easily. Well, is this lethal? Let's put 1 here. I've got 2-5, 8-12, 16. So it's quite lethal, but let's see if we can make some meaningful trades. Well, the assembly line probably clears up what's going to happen in this game, because now it's going to be impossible for us to get in and take that Oblivion Spike out of play. But assembly line does help here. Well, let's attack into this. Just get the easy trades here. Oh. Yeah, it wasn't knocking the weapon off, so it's probably fine. Let's play some Pale Riders. I'm going to assume that our Deadly One's going to get bopped next turn by this. So I suppose I really want to get this 1-4 out of the way, so we don't have to deal with a flying roll, but I suppose it's better just to kill the 3-4 here, because that way we'll get to keep our unit. Well, now I think if this is the only way that they're getting in, I think we'll just block the 4-4 here and keep our 1-1s in play. But yeah, the madness here is probably going to do the job. But let's let him get in for lethal. Well, GG's to early on. Okay, well, if I knew full well I was just playing like Skycrag and I just had like double Vara's Favour, there's probably a snap keep, but I think in most instances you probably just can't keep that. So a little bit back, we get to set up our influence here with the Seek power. This was a Skycrad banner depleted, so I think we'll just hold fire on the Vara's favour here. Now, Grenadin drone isn't exactly where I wanted to use this, but maybe they've got another banner. Okay, so this is like a Scream deck, cool. Well, the Vara's favour is not going to get me better targets, so I may as well just kill a Grenadin drone. But we'll get the one that doesn't have the summon effect. And I'll keep the torch up next turn, I think. I don't think we need it quite yet. Well, if our opponent is playing like a Gorgon Fanatic or something, and we do draw a Madness, then we get to live the dream here. Well, there we go. Punished for not holding up the torch. I think I'm reasonably happy just to use it perhaps now. I'll wait until we've already attacked. So there's no like haunting screams or any sort of nonsense like that. Not sure how this match will go because I think it's definitely a lot more explosive than us with cards like Champion of Fury and Bandit Queen. But I suppose we'll be able to gum up the ground for the next couple of turns. Then next turn, if our opponent makes something that needs to be dealt with like a Rindra, then at least we can just Scraptank into Combust, kill the Rindra and just chunk in for a bunch of damage. One must be thinking about something here, maybe they want to use a Devour or something. But it'd be a perfect time to torch the Scraptank actually. Well, let's play another one. And I'm not super excited about like using a Combust on one of these Grenadins. So I think we'll just chunk in for 2 here. We get to use the torch to counter one of our opponent's torches by torching one of our little Grenadins. But Scraptank's a pretty sweet card. And this is one of the last Stonescar cards that I actually crafted as well. Yeah, let's just try and get him for 4 here. I don't want to just lose a Scraptank to just being triple blocked or anything like that. And even if we torch one of our own units, then a Scraptank can still get torched there. So I'm just going to play like this, a little bit of cat and mouse game. But I really just want to hit a high priority target with the Combust. And I feel like these should set us up pretty well even against like a Screamed in Diphant Beastcaller. Well, I suppose we'll just torch that. We do lose our interaction now. Okay, so let's quarry it up and see what we can get. Well, I'll just take the thing. I suppose it would have been better just to take the Crest there because it guarantees like a Gearcruncher. But I'm reasonably happy just with this as my board for now. And I probably can't just ignore taking 6 a turn here.
Send a message.
Okay, so Ripknife Assassin is like an interesting inclusion here. Although Warcry is generally very good with Champion of Fury. I think now's the opportunity where I do just want to get rid of this guy. Because this grows both our units by 2. And if our opponent blocks badly here, we get to use the Devour as a combat trick. But they've had enough anyway because we're able to attack in, and if they don't block the scrap tanks, then we get to Devour, give them both +2/+2, draw some cards, and hopefully we'll be able to end the game from there as well. A reasonable life total of 20. Okay, well, we're on the draw here with a fairly weird hand that I don't actually want to keep, so I think this is just a redraw. If there was like some sort of payoff in hand, like a Combust, then I definitely would have been on the keeping it train. And now we might be in the weird position where we actually go and get a fire source with the Seek, just so we're able to activate these Granite Waystones, but I think that's probably still just incorrect. I'm just going to be grabbing up the Shadow so we're able to play this on time. I'm not sure whether the Witching Hour is better or worse than like the other win conditions that you can have, because you can play stuff like the Caleb Uncrowned Prince to try and win the game with, or some more grindy units like the, well, grindy enchantments like the Scraptank, well, Scrap Heap, sorry, which gives all units haste, which is great against like control decks. I think now's the point where I'm just going to hold up the Devour in case anything silly happens. I think Vara's favours one of our things, I'm just going to Devour it. But I really do like the Scrap Heap because it gives you a lot of inevitability against control decks as well, because you can just... Oh, well, I'm not having that. Let's Devour one of these. These are essentially useless now anyway, in the face of this. So let's torch this because it's nonsense. And I think we'll actually just get the Shadow Source. We're getting one of these and that's fine. We've actually already drawn the Fire Sigil, so there's none left. Did forget there's only one Fire Sigil in the deck. But that's just the deck building constraints that are going to be on you when you're playing the Witching Hour. Maybe this is like a actual Argenport Minotaur's deck. If our opponent is playing like the Copper Hall Bailiff. I'm going to hold fire on these in case we draw some sort of fire jewel here, so we can get full value here. Well, the old -1/1 here. Might be worth Vara's favouring it just to give my guy +2/+2. Well, what I posted is telling me that they've got an answer for this. Well, let's just block like this. And there we go, that's what we're looking for. So I think we'll keep this torch just because it combines quite well. And as opposed to just put like double wanted poster on this, I'm pretty sure we can kill it. So I'm not just going to gobble up one of my Grenadins here just to get an additional point of damage. But we'll keep the Vara's favour because our opponent does make some sort of rune hammer here. I'd still like to be able to deal with it for free because the torch we've got is pretty much just going to be to deal with this guy. Okay, so Harshal was interesting there. I'm really seeing a powerful wanted poster there. Well, let's show them we mean business. Let's get some foily Grenadins in there. That's nice when your power is basically a lotus petal for the Witch now, because the Grenadin token gets to reduce it by 1. Now I've seen Harshal, I feel like we're a little bit less safe with the Witch now. Being able to take over the game.
Sharpen those horns.
Well, Tarot could be a big game here as well. And we've not got much in the way of Grenadins left over for the Gearcruncher here. I think we'll just do this just to draw the power, reduce this in cost, and set ourselves up for perhaps a Gearcruncher just lethal this. But we can't keep it busy for quite some time because we do have the little Grenadins that could. Although of course the Inquisitor's Blade does make Tarot a lot scarier now. Remember when Ajapot was sort of first famous on the ladder? That the Grenadin's deck was really good against it because you could just deck them by them attacking and never been able to get over. And the few units they had that could fly over, like the Impending Doom, you're just able to. There's so few of them you're able to deal with them. And this is a spicy bro opponent's got going on here. 2 Mactos. And going deep with the Copper Hall Bailiffs. And trading off Grenadins for not much value is sort of fine when you've got the Gearcruncher because you should be able to pick them back up. And there we go. Hopefully we've not got a flying Tarot in our future. I'm not sure our opponent's roping in. Must have had a pretty bad connection. I think the client's been having a couple of problems here. Our opponent does have a fast spell, it seems. I do believe they completely whiffed with the Tower activation. But yeah, since the update was Fetcher, the clients had a couple of problems, for me at least. It did crash out when I was recording a video earlier today. But we should also just be able to combine the Witching Hour with the Torch to be able to pretty much deal with anything else that's got flying here. But I'm not going to die taking 2 a turn. Now let's see what we hit. So they did get to draw 1 card, but Macto in the same deck as Tarot is always a little bit suspicious. Well, Azrael's Gift's fine. I'm just going to empty out my hand here. And that's not exactly what we were looking to draw. Well, that's the Witching Hour for no value. Well, we get a Death Touch at least. And then sadly discarding the Gearcruncher. If there's a harsh rule, then the game's pretty much just over because our opponent does have like 8 cards in hand. We've got nothing, and then at that point we'd have no board. Well, here are the people's interesting. Ah, okay, so it's the Flying Tarot that we're dealing with. Well, let's just get rid of this. I'll just do the old 8 space and hopefully it gets us there before a harsh rules manage to deal with us.
These pawns could be worth something.
I could also just spike a torch off the top as well. Yeah, if we do draw a torch, we have to discard it anyway, so I'd rather just try and draw it naturally, especially if we do get to keep the Stonescar Scrapper in play. But we're once able to, that was Dark Return this Tab Rod. After they deal with our board, it's going to be pretty gross for us. But they do need harsh rule this turn, so the game might very well be over. Just give him a nudge, see if they're still there. I'd be a little bit upset if they were just doing all this roping and then they had the harsh rule anyway. But it looks like it's just the 9-1 hammer, which isn't going to be enough here. Especially as like whatever imaginary lifesteal blocker our opponent could have, we could kill with the Gearcruncher here. But give me all different thing, have you? Let's see how close we were to the torch. Oh. Well, let's scoop it up anyway. Didn't let us have our fun. So on to the next game. Okay, well, I think this is an easy redraw because just Granite, Waystone and Seek Power is not really where I want to be. And yikes, Sand is something. But if we're against like a mid-range deck, then maybe the Madness Combust can do something. But it does look like right now we're just going to be playing a little bit of Drago. I don't actually mind finding a Devour or something just to turn one of these Grenadins into a couple of cards, just keep us hitting power. And okay, so this is like an armory deck. Just going straight away for the Rise to Challenge, okay. That's reasonably aggressive, but there's a few things here we could get that were pretty good for them. A front one's actually a pretty big problem for us right now. I'm hoping they'll just be super greedy and just gone for an Icaria. Oh, the old 7-5 Sheltering Rider. Well, let's attack with these first. Rising through a Sheltering Rider is a little bit of a dirty thing to do, but it's sort of nice as well because even after the Age has been popped, you're still left with a threat. So I'm probably going to have to use 2 spells just to be able to deal with this anyway. I was sort of hoping they'd gone for the greedy play that everyone always goes for, which is just grabbing a carry, and I guess this is what this one's for. So let's just skip them up, go on to the next game. We're not going anywhere with free power. Okay, well, a bunch of cheap spells. Got the Crest of Chaos and an Assembly Line just to really be able to ritual out this Witching Hour here, so I think we'll keep this. I'd like to find an underplayed power here, and Grenadin Waystone sort of fine. I don't mind playing the Assembly Line on 4. Because you do have all this like sort of interaction, which may not be very good against Legion, especially if this is one of like the main deck Hailstorm versions, like the Legion Horn deck.
Time quickens.
Well, we've got a target for Torch, so let's pop that. This is sort of fine. I like how that just makes Witch now just cost 4 less. That's perhaps one of the reasons why I didn't really experiment with Witching Hour as early as I perhaps should have been, because I didn't realise the interaction between just like the tokens being generated. But we're just going to be on the aggressive here. Won't mind finding any Devour really, because I've got a really sweet answer to anything like a Willbearer Behemoth. But we've got any False Princes covered just with the Torch here. The old Madness False Prince isn't quite the combo.
Time quickens.
But I think our opponent needs these, so let's just pop them out of the way. But it does have a fast effect, so maybe it's something like an Equivocate, which is potentially okay against our Witch now, especially if we try to kill something. And I'm also not concerned about Hailstorm anymore because our opponent has shown us like Initiate of the Sands and Temple Scrap. Now, Temple Scrap you can put in a deck with Hailstorm because it buys you time for it, but the Initiate of the Sands is probably a bit of a stretch. I guess just on the ace-based plan, just doing a poor impression of a Stonescar draft deck. The beatdowns do feel a little bit anemic, but we can't just be ignored because we are just chunking in for free here. So I think ideally I'd like to find a scrapper just to be able to turn these into some actual cards, but I think for now I'm reasonably happy just to chuck an assembly line down. I was definitely ramping towards something with those initiates, but we've not seen what quite yet. Maybe this will answer it for us. Yeah, just twin brood sauropods, nice. We actually used a torch here to be able to kill it. Right, okay, so maybe we're just playing his crown here and they just never drew it. Well, that's not fine. I think we'll just torch this one. When our opponent plays like a bigger one, we'll just madness it, just get for a bajillion damage. And I suppose that's just how we're going to have to try and win this one. Although, my opponent is playing like an actual crown deck here, then maybe they will be playing the Hailstorm, even though they are playing the Initiate, just as a way to be able to deal with aggressive starts like this. But the madness here should be able to do the job. As we've got 5 dudes in play and 5 in the air. The Equivocate could be used on the Thunderstrike Dragon here, actually. But I'm sort of okay, because we're still looking to get it for 5. So, put our opponent to 5, and now they're going to have a bit of trouble dealing with this, because they're going to have to kill us quicker than they can block what's going on. Wow, Infernal Tyrant. What an Equivocate target.
Time quickens.
So we do really need to find something like a Combust just for this, because this is going to be able to end the game pretty quickly. And putting 4 in here does make the Witch now very castable. But I think I'm just going to assemble line, just gang block this. Like just eat the fact that this is going to be able to gobble up a bunch of our board. And then hopefully be able to stabilize ourselves with the Witching Hour. Now this is all fine. We've got enough room for the Witching Hour. We've got a flying one, a deadly one that should be able to do some work as well. The killer here just going to take out the Initiate. And if I had like 2 power Grenadins, then for sure I would have used the killer just to get rid of the Infernal Tyrant. But let's keep this one back. I'm not sure how correct this is, but it does keep our board busy, and we should be able to just start mowing down what our opponent's up to. And the Wisdom Elder is a pretty great job from our opponent, hoping they're not able to interact with this. But at least, even though our opponent's interaction is very cheap, they have to use 6 power to be able to get that deep in the deck. Permafrost was exactly what I was a little bit worried about. Just need to hope that our opponent bricks on the second site and there's no echoes there. So let's devour this. Guess we're just in Granite Waystone mode. There's now at least our chumps, and whatever else we're going to be doing is going to be a lot more meaningful. And we're only one undepleted power away from just being able to play and activate the Gearcruncher. But I do just want to quarry, find some way of dealing with this nonsense.
These parts could be worth something.
Yeah, let's just sacrifice this. I don't believe we get to draw a... We'll get to gain a life there at least, because it happens before... Oh, we do get to gain a life. Nice. Well, let's sacrifice these, draw some cards, hopefully find some sort of answer for this. I suppose we'll just... Let's pop the Aegis in case we need to make a torch at some point. Now let's make the single Grenadin. I suppose we'll pass the turn. Well, fortunately for us, our opponent's not been able to find an actual crown here, so we should be able to overwhelm them just with the card draw from the Scrapper, and then eventually just be able to nuke everything they've got with the Gearcruncher. Well, let's devour one of these. Because we're just digging for interaction, and while we're doing it, we're just making a huge threat. Okay, great. So let's just combust one of these, deal with this. Then more scrappers is great. Next time we're going to just be able to Gearcrunch down and blow anything we want up. But for now I think it's just crunch for 17, just get chumped somewhere, perhaps by the 2-2. And I think we might have done it here. I don't think we need to play any more Grenadins to get down on here. But we are getting in some danger territory here from these Thunderstrike Dragons. I may as well sacrifice these now because it's for free. Suppose we just get in for 21. Could be free just to attack with the 2/1/1s there. I think I'm just going to keep mowing down these Thunderstrikes and hopefully fade another Permafrost. And there we go, Combust's great. Because don't forget, any more sort of nonsense units, we should be able to just kill 2 things. We also get to just attack him with all like the rando 1/1s here. Also like a madness off the top that we're able to draw with the Stonescar Scrapper is going to do quite a lot of work as well, because then we should be able to kill our opponent straight away. As we're able to... Yep, there we go. So kill one of them. And we madness the one. Now I get to attack for 9. Give me the old GGs. Wow, that was a game. Never expected to win against Crown with this deck. But I think our opponent struggled in the early game, then wasn't able to find a Crown. And we're just able to eventually overwhelm him just by drawing so many cards and being able to get so much value off our synergy pieces. Okay, well, I'm not sure how I feel about this hand because it's not got much interaction, but it's just a semi-line into Scraptank, which is medium good against the beatdown deck, but I don't think it's really good enough. So even with the Crest, I think we're just going to redraw that. I suppose it doesn't really matter which one we lead with because we're just going to be playing the Grenadin drone next turn anyway. And we are against Combust deck with the Madness and Combust as well as the Devour, which should be in okay shape here. But I suppose it's just going to be team Vara's favour the face and just Combust here. Although we could just like next turn we could Madness and Combust. I'm reasonably happy just to set up the turn 5 where we just Madness Devour something. Well, I suppose for now it's just the old make the assembly line, or just intend to block this with 4 units. Wow, Inquisitor's Blade. Okay, well the Madness and Devour could potentially be a little bit better now. Because we'll get to put the Inquisitor's Blade on one of our random idiots. And never seen that opponent's got charge units. I think we're just going to leave one behind here. And hopefully our opponent taps out for some juicy business. And hopefully we get to make the most out of this Inquisitor's Blade. Because that'd be quite the pickup to put on top of a Scraptank. I'm a little bit concerned about like a stand together here or something along those lines. Okay, well our opponent's not holding up the 3 anymore, so we will get to get him real good. Attacking for 6 here. I would sort of prefer to have had the Combust now because we would have been able to tie up our opponent's board quite a reasonable amount. But we do going to get to next turn make a Stonescar Scrapper, and so opponent's already used like one of the silence sources. We should perhaps be able to engineer a turn where we're able to Madness and then scrap away whatever we've stolen. So our opponent does make something huge with like some sort of weapons. Well, this is smelling to me like a finest hour, but I sort of don't want to get gobbled up by our opponent being able to make the Sand Strider here. Because the Sand Strider is real good at taking out things like Scraptank and Stonescar Scrapper.
Time quickens.
Well, let's just do it this way. Yeah, so attack for 1 basically for free. Like, I don't see where our opponent like blocks there.
These parts could be worth something.
And then we might even spike into a Inquisitor's Blade that's going to go right in this little Grenadin that could. Oh, well, we missed, but we've got the Witch now, which we're pretty close to being able to play here. But I'm blocking here just because it gets to actually kill something, does. So it's turning our units into a thing. So this is interesting. I would like to keep up the Devour. I suppose it's just going to be Scraptank with the intention of combusting a thing to be able to kill this. And it's also like spamming it enough cheap spells that we're going to be able to play a Witch in our next turn as well.
Trust in your skills.
Well, there we go. We did it.
Never stop.
Well, let's just Witch in our first. And we get to kill this. Then I suppose we'll just crunch in like for whatever. Just about this, and if everyone's got like anything that's able to stabilize them from here, then we're just able to Madness and Combust it, as well as just getting an additional 2 points of damage out just because of the Devour. But this deck seems pretty sweet in these kinds of matchups. Yeah, against time-based decks, we've just got like the Madness, Devour, Combust toolbox. Like, it just deck feels amazing. Okay, so that was Lights Out Ace Scrappy Hour. I've finally recorded a video of it. I've been meaning to do this for quite a long time actually, but it's just never felt right to pull the trigger on it. But if people are going to be playing more time-based decks, like especially if they've got Svecha going on, then maybe now's the time to really get in there and just like show the world that we mean business with the Madness package. There's Madness, when you combine it with cards like Devour and Combust, it's just really easy to just be able to win games from those positions, even though most people like early game threats are just buying your time and just synergy pieces. Like the Grenadin drone, we're not a beat down deck to be honest. We can beat down, but it's not plan A, it's somewhere like plan D or something. But the Grenadin drone's got a lot of value, like against decks like Skycrag and even like Stonescar beatdown, we get to get a lot of value out of this as we can just trade it for some of our opponents 2-1s, like they're playing like Ruthless Stranger or even Pyro Knights or Snow Crust Yetis. It just doesn't really matter. We're just able to trade away, kill 2 of their units and just make our Witching Hours cost less and just make our Gearcrunchers bring back more units. And the Witching Hour of course brings like a lot more play to the deck as well, as you need to consider some of your plays. Like if I make something now that's suboptimal, so I can make a Witching Hour next turn, so I'm able to stabilize those sort of things. And the Witching Hour really saw how powerful it was in the Argent Paw Revenge deck last week. But I'm excited to see just a little bit more life into these set 1 cards that were pretty much nerfed from being super powerful. As previously, this used to get 1 cheaper when you played Power as well. And that was pretty much the week that I started playing, so I'm glad that I didn't rush out and craft the Witching Hours to build that old Felon deck. Anyway, thanks for watching. I've been That Resolves, and this was Scrappy Hour.